Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Tony Budde, for those who don't know me. I'm a chef, obviously, and I live in Castle Douglas. I work for the Fleece and Galloway College sometimes, and I work between Stranraer and Dumfries. I also do things like this. I cook in people's houses, just basically wherever I can make a couple of quid. That's what I do. I go and bluff my way. So tonight, what we're going to do is just going to make a really basic dessert called lemon posset, and then I'll decorate it up, let you see what it looks like. And also we've got some tasters, so just to let you taste that. Then we're going to do a little salad with some salmon, which we are going to make our own Cajun spices here. I've got them, a couple of ingredients to make up the spice. So we're going to do that. Then we've got two fantastic volunteers who are going to help me attempt to make some tiger prawns with some noodles and things like that. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to start with the lemon posset. Everybody knows how to make lemon posset, yeah? No? Good, so then I can lie in a few bits, so that's great. So what I'm going to do is we've got some beautiful double cream. Okay, so I've got 500 mils of double cream here, and then I'm just going to add that into my pot, like so. This is really, really simple. We used to make this in the restaurant all the time, and we used to put alcohol and stuff like that into it, just to kind of make it taste nice, or we could charge more, which is probably more to the point.
What alcohol did you put in it?
We used to put gin in it. You said that? Yeah. I thought I was going to have trouble with the ones at the back. So it used to be gin. We used to make like a prawn cocktail, and it was just a simple prawn cocktail, but we've done the glass up nice. But what we used to do was say that it had a secret sauce, and everybody used to come in and get kind of a prawn cocktail, please. And we used to sell hundreds of them, and then they would say, what's the secret in the secret sauce? But we used to just put half a gin in it. Put a bit of gin into it, and that was it. So anyway, I've got my double cream on, then I've got 140 grams of nice caster sugar. As you can see, it's nice and lumpy. So I'll put that in here. I quite like this. Sometimes you get, especially my wife invites people round to the house, doesn't tell me, Tony, can you do a wee sweet or something like that? So you can whip this up really quick. It sets quite quickly in the fridge, which you'll see. He says, hopefully. So we'll just turn that on. And then I'll just bring that up to almost the boil. So this is quite quick. Okay, so nobody's got a bus to catch or anything like that. Is there buses come out this way? Yeah. So I'm just going to bring that up to boil, and then I've got my lemon juice. So I've got the juice of two lemons here, and then I'm just going to put that in. So once it comes to the simmer, you then want it to simmer for about 3 minutes, okay? 3 minutes exactly. And then you're going to add your lemon juice, and the lemon juice helps it to set. Yeah. So the tricky thing is, I don't know if you've ever boiled milk before, is for it to go and it starts boiling over. So you just need to be careful, and that's why I'm not doing anything else. I'm just concentrating on this so I don't look stupid on especially the camera. So this is usually really, really quick. So I'm going to put a wee bit of lemon zest into it, and I've got my fantastic microplane. These are great. Anybody got one of these? Microplanes, fantastic. You don't cut your finger or anything on them, and it gives it a really fine grate. Like that. So, especially if you don't put it in the pot. So we're going to grate that. And this is great because you just get little fine bits. You don't get a big chunk of lemon zest. And what I'll do as well is I'll use it for ginger. So I'll get my chunks of ginger, freeze them, take it out of the freezer as I need it, wee bit of ginger, and then put it back in the freezer. Fantastic. You just get a wee bit of ginger. You don't end up with a big hairy mess in the end of your grater. So these are great. think they're about 10 quid. Right, so this is just starting to come to the boil. Like that. And then what I've got here is I've got my spoon in cold water. So that if it does start to come up, I just dip the spoon in and it decreases the temperature slightly and it stops it from boiling over.
What temperature are you cooking at?
It comes up to boiling point and then we just take it down to simmer. So boiling point's what?
Do not look at me.
So you get this 100 degrees, isn't it? Like, what school do you go to?
Oh, I did that years ago.
Did you? Not all that
School
stuff.
for distant memory.
Right, you're kicking off good. Did you do home economics? Is that good? Alright, great.
Question A.
You got it? Right, so this is just coming up the boil and it's just coming to simmer. So I'm just going to turn it down a wee bit. So that's just simmering. You should really have an overhead camera shooting or a big mirror or something. What was that?
A drone.
A drone, yeah. Yep. Is that what you're getting brand for Christmas? Okay, so we've got our lemon, so that's 3 minutes, wasn't it? How many times is that?
Yeah.
I've got 3. I'm just going to add in the lemon juice, so there's quite a lot of lemon juice. Put that in. Like that. And the scary thing about this is you think it's never going to set. It's quite thin. No, my luck tonight. So we've got that, and then we are going to put it into my beautiful jug. I'm going to melt the jug. Just pour that in. That.
So it doesn't thicken in the pan?
No, but what happens to you need to use it quite quickly. As soon as you let it cool down slightly, especially if you're using plastic containers. Let it cool down slightly before because then it starts to clot. Yeah. Sometimes what I do is if I'm making a big batch, especially for the restaurant, I put it into my KitchenAid, right? And I put the whisk into it at a low setting and just let it whisk slowly, and then that stops it from a skin forming or from a clotting. And then once it's cooled down a wee bit, I then pour it into my jugs or into what I'm going to put it in or serve it in. But yeah, it does starts to clot.
And is this the point you put in the alcohol?
What I sometimes do is put maybe a wee squirt of something like this with alcohol in it, and then squirt that at the bottom. But I let it cool down till it's nearly setting, and then put it in, and then it kind of comes up the sides. It's quite nice.
You'd think the alcohol sort of curdle it somewhere.
Yeah,
The actual.
yeah, it doesn't. You don't put gallons of it.
Oh.
You want to put it in so they go, is it not there? As soon
Yeah.
as you can charge a wee bit extra in the restaurant. That's really what delayed reaction. Right, so this is where I'll do this without my glasses. And I'll fill these up. So, and I'm filling these up to the top because I know Haley's got to carry them to the fridge.
Oh no.
Fill these up. So, you smell it?
You smell it.
Plastic. And I'm hoping these are thinner plastics to make them easier. Oh, see. So, you guys going to take that? Hopefully they get that bit. Yeah. Okay, don't forget, walk like a model. Okay, so while Haley's getting her little samples back, I've got some that are right here. So, I've got them in little glasses, nice little cut glass. Got these, and then what I'll do is I'll just decorate them up. So when you think about it, it's only all it is cream, lemon, and sugar, and it's quite quick to make. But then you can add bits to it just to make it look a wee bit more. And you hear something falling.
You can open the fridge door and pull the tree.
So we've got that, and I've got these little cute little things here. Just shows you what you can put them into. You can put them in the cocktail glasses. You have some more raspberries. There. Yeah, let's put one of these little boys on the plate. And we'll do them up. Like that. So we'll put our raspberries in. The coulis is all it is raspberries, some sugar, and then you just reduce it. And then what I do is I strain it. And that's it. Pretty basic.
That was quick.
Oh. Really? Yeah, I haven't finished with them yet. Well, one job.
You told him to go get them.
I didn't tell you to start flogging them.
I'll stand here while you finish.
It's whenever she says pound. Can you bring it around here, please?
There you are.
Thanks. Right, okay. So we've done that. I didn't need my wee spoon, so I'm going to show off that. So we need to put some of this beautiful coulis on these as well. And which one will we do first? We'll do this one up first. So you've got a raspberry. Some places what they do is they fill it with strawberries and bits of fruit and just cover the bowl in salt. Well, for this I'm just going to do that. One raspberry. And just put a wee bit on the top. Does it all a bit?
Sorry, we were too busy watching the food appearing. What was it? Was it raspberries and sugar?
Just raspberries and sugar. Normally I do a kind of demonstration with different desserts and things, and I demonstrate the making the coulis and things like that. So if you come back next year, and, I'll show you that. So we've got some little biscuits that I made this morning. These are Tweety biscuits. We all know what Tweety biscuits are.
Yeah.
Good. So we made some sometimes what I do is I paint them with a little bit of red dye, so they look like flames, coming up. Put that, and then we'll just put that in there, and then that's just like. So that's went from about £2 in the restaurant to about £7.50. We've got that. What else have we got? We've got other wee bits and pieces here to garnish it with. So, some nuts mixed with some chocolate. Sprinkle that on. This one as well. Just what I've done was I just raided my cupboard what I had. And then so just put that in that as well. Look nice. And that wee one there. Yeah. And then, as we go over here, I have some, some chocolate. So I made some chocolate with some stencils that I had left over from a chocolate class. So I don't know if you can see that. Can you see it from up there? Yeah. It's like a transfer, you transfer onto chocolate. So I do a chocolate class as well. In case anybody's interested. Yeah, the chocolate class is quite good. We make things like, Ferrero Rochers, but we'll call them something else. Ranchers or something like that. We'll do stuff like that.
Do you do your classes all over?
All over, yeah. Yeah, I do them anywhere I can get a kitchen basically. Or anywhere somebody will pay me. We'll put that. What's it? Put that in there.
Shark.
Yeah. Good. So we've got that. Stick that in there. And then what else have we got? Then we've got some meringue. What I do is just get pink meringue, just blitz it a wee bit, and then just use that for a wee bit of texture on the top. And I put that on. Normally I don't combine all this. I'm just basically that, and then a wee bit in that one, and then a wee bit in that. You can see how you can enhance it just by doing these simple things. And then we've got, we've got in here is dehydrated. It's all trendy now to dehydrate everything. It's like at Christmas I get a present, like a dehydrator or something like that, and then everything gets dehydrated. Even the cat is. So what I've done is got the orange skin, dehydrated it. Obviously you don't take the white pith. You get a bit of bitterness of it. Okay, so you just take the kind of orange, the orange bit of the orange, and use that. And then you put that one, and then you can smell that. I'll let somebody pass this round.
Am I allowed to touch that one?
Yeah. So they can have a wee sniff of that, and you can smell the orange off it if you give it a really good sniff. So then we've got that, and then sometimes what I do in the restaurant as well, is there any English people? Any English? Anybody south of the border? English? Any English? Welsh? Is that Welsh is okay, isn't it?
From Wales.
Scottish now.
Then what we'll do is we'll do a wee Nessie. I'll get one of those. So we get a little Nessie, set them on that, and then we charge £10.50.
Oh, look at that.
So we charge more for that. We used to put this in the restaurant with a Chronican mousse, serve it with that, and then we used to make some, what do you call that stuff you get from fairs?
Candy floss.
We used to serve it with a bit of candy floss on the side, and that was him coming out of the mist, and then serve it on the side. But we used to get people from down south would go, "Oh, look at the dinosaur." So they quickly got kicked out of the restaurant. So that's that. So I don't know if you want to pass that wee dinosaur. Or,
How do you bend it?
how do you bend it? Yeah. That's on my dessert course, son. So then I'll just sauce these up, and I'll put a wee spoon in it, and hope we should have enough plenty in here. So you might be able to get seconds tonight, okay?
You better look now.
Yeah. So I'll just quickly sauce these up. That. Then we can put a little bit of biscuit in for what it's worth. Yeah, somebody can eat that. Nobody wanted it. He's COVID free, he's had both his jags. I don't know where that one. We'll put these in here.
Oh.
And these. So these are little. They started off at something else and ended up like that. So put these out. They'll stick them together. Then my able assistant will pass these out whenever I get a spoon in them. wee
So
spoon.
how do you make those biscuits?
This is a tweed biscuit, which is, who asked that?
Want me to put the spoons
I'm
in it?
nosy.
Put your full of questions today.
Ah. Do you want me to put a spoon in it or am I not allowed? Oh, I've got a teaspoon. Oh, right.
Oh, right, you're poor. You know they have the posh ones where you can have these,
Plastic
and you can
ones.
take these home. Free.
And you want me to put a teaspoon in
Yeah.
it?
Not there.
I knew you'd say that.
So predictable, man. When we just met. These are sticking there. Yeah, so all it is, Sam, is plain flour. 100 grams plain flour, 100 grams of icing sugar, 2 lukewarm egg whites, and 50 grams of butter. But it's how you mix it all together is the hard bit. Because if you mix it so what you do is put the sieve the flour and the icing sugar together, then mix in gently the egg whites. But so many people, what they do is they whisk it and they end up with like meringue type mixture. There's a big one there now, which is no good. And then you fold in the melted butter, and then you put it in the fridge. And then I've got like a little stencils that I made just to make the likes of Nessie and different bits and pieces. Yep. So hopefully nobody's got any plan for tonight or bake off or
That's Tuesday night.
is it? I'll just put these out. I'll do a few. There's a lot more than what we need, so I'll just do a few seconds. In. And that's it. Thank God for that.
I can hand them out now.
And the mid knife. So that is that. So if anybody wants to have one of the bigger ones. Okay, so that's that. So here we've got our nice bit of salmon. I use very fish all the time. Just because he goes into the car park in Castle Douglas and I just have to dander down the road to him. And he's fantastic, he gives me whatever I need. If I need lobsters, I phone him up and he phones the guy that's on the boat. Gary's his name. I don't know if you know Kakubri. You know Gary? So Gary, he drives the safety boat, but he also has a wee lobster ship, I was going to say, but a lobster boat. So he gets the lobsters for me. This is the salmon, so you can see I've kind of trimmed it so that it sits nice and neat. So when we're in the restaurant, whenever I cook that off, it looks quite pretty in the restaurant. Okay, there is a bit of wastage here, but what I do is use that for fish cakes and things like that. Okay, again, it's all about presentation, making it look as if you actually care about what you're doing in the restaurant. So the chef actually cares about what he's doing. So he's trimmed it all down, took the skin off, took all the pin bones out, and you can see it's quite a nice, neat shape. Okay, that's what I've done with that. Then I'm going to grab my frying pan. Yeah. And I've got my little blender. So what I'm going to do is just make a Cajun spice. Right, so I've got my instructions here because there's no way I'll remember what everything is. This is sea salt. So this is that Himalayan stuff that you get. I don't know if you've seen it in big slabs or not. Some restaurants you go into, or even in the butcher's shop, what they have is a whole wall stacked with these Himalayan slabs. You've heard of air-dried beef. Yeah, so that's what they have. They have a whole, and it costs them a fortune to get these all these slabs in. So they have them in the fridge, and it dries out the beef. But some restaurants, what they do is they've got little smaller ones, about size, maybe about half the size of that chopping board, and they heat them up in the oven. So then whenever you get your steak, cook the steak off, put it on this slab, and then serve it out to you. Why? I don't know, but that's what they do. So and the salt comes through into the meat. So that's what that is. And then we've got, in the second one, we've got sweet paprika. In here, I've got some garlic. Again, my dehydrator that I got for last Christmas. Dehydrate the garlic, then I smoke it just to give it a wee bit of smokiness, and then blitz it, so it's like that. So I don't know if you can smell that. Smells fantastic, nice smoky.
So was that another Christmas?
Yeah.
Smoker.
Oh yeah, smoker. The smoker. Well, I've got 3 different sizes, so just showing off. White pepper. Then we've got onion salt. Again, dehydrator. Don't know why when you can just go down to Tesco's and buy it, I suppose, but when I've got it, that's what I do. Dehydrate everything. So I've got that. I've got my cumin seeds. I've got cayenne pepper. And then in here I've got some oregano, some thyme, and some basil dried as well. Yeah. And I've got that. And then what I'm going to do is use my little blender. So some people, what they do is use a coffee machine, but you can just buy these amazon.co.uk and buy them. They're only about £5-6 quid. But what I do is everything that if I'm making a curry, making a gram masala, stuff like that, I always make up my fresh spice. I work with a guy called Cyrus Tuggywaller, who you probably won't know. But anyway, this guy is fantastic. He's got a Michelin star restaurant in London.
He's been on the telly.
Have you? Do you know him? He does a show
Yes,
with this
Cyrus.
other guy who's coming to the whatever his name is,
Absolutely.
Tony Sai. And anyway, he was brilliant. So, and he's as funny as anything. He just says anything, and it's just the way he says it. So you're bent over back. He's just absolutely so funny.
Killed,
Yeah. Aye. Well, not Cyrus. I don't think.
it's like Scottish Indian, I'm cute.
Aye, that's the other guy. This is Cyrus I'm talking about. This is the better Indian chef. So this other, the two of them do a great show together. It's so funny.
Yeah,
But this guy was hilarious. I mean, the whole night we were working with him in the kitchen, just went by in a flash. But anyway, what he does is in his restaurant, he makes all the spices up in the beginning of the week, keeps them in the fridge, and then takes them out and uses them. And at the end of the week, bins them all, and then starts again. All right. So see that thing that you got when you got married, that's sitting in the corner, that carousel thing, just ditch that. But you'll see the difference in the. Whenever I do my curry class, I let people smell the difference in the freshness, and it just makes a different taste to the curry. And normally, what you would do is, if you were doing a curry, you would toast it all off and then blitz it. Yeah, but we're just blitzing all these. So I've got my wee blitzer. Put everything in that. And you think it's going to be absolutely red hot this occasion, but it's not. The best thing about this is you can add what you like into it. You know what I mean? And make your own kind of Cajun spice up. Anybody ever made their own spices up? No? Use a pestle and mortar. Well, the first time I met my wife, she made me a curry. Flip. Don't be telling me. Sam knows listening. It was like, she spent ages going with this pestle and big lumps of star anise and everything. Sticking in your teeth. I had it all though. That's why I've got a blender. We'll do that, mix it all up, and then hopefully this will not go flying all over the place. We'll put this on top. So I've got that mixed up. That's fantastic. And then we'll just put a wee bit in here. And then my able assistant will let you have a look for that. It's a bit too strong in the pepper, but it still tastes alright, smells alright. So if you go into the shop and buy your Cajun spice, you'll see the difference. And sometimes you buy ones that are a lot readier, so you just add in a wee bit more paprika and things like that. You can even put in, if you wanted, some dried chilies. That's it. And then blow your head off.
That would make it hard.
Yeah. We've got that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little paste. So I've got a C3 one, just to let you see. So put some.
Tony, did you take the skin off the bottom of that salmon, or is the skin on the bottom of that?
Take the skin off. Some people leave the skin on, but I always say that some chefs go, well, you cook the skin first and blah blah blah, but it's not. You cook the presentation side first. Yeah, so it's whatever side you want to present to the customer, you cook first, right? Because then when you turn it over and you're cooking away, the pan gets soiled and it just doesn't look. We always put presentation side first, which I got hammered into me when I was a trainee in a hotel. And that's what you do, you just presentation side first. And then what sometimes chefs leave, if you can see the grey on that, for this, I've just left it on because I'm going to coat it in spices anyway. But if I was in a Michelin star restaurant, that would all, I would get crucified for leaving that on. Okay, so you need to take all that off so it's just the nice colour of the salmon that you get. Yeah, and a nice shape. We've got that. And then we're going to put some oil. And this is beautiful rapeseed oil, all the way from Scotland. We use that. I use this instead of olive oil. You know, olive oil, you get like aftertaste and things like that, and you can see the kind of and you see where it kind of sits on the sides. It's like a nice wine.
That's good red wine.
Yeah. So we just add some nice oil into that, and then I'm just going to make a little paste. So you get a nice paste. And some people marinate it, but I just paint it on because then you can control how much you get onto the salmon, because you don't want it to be too spicy. And then I just get my salmon.
And does it keep in the fridge afterwards? Can you keep it for a couple of days?
Yeah, the spices, it keeps
In the fridge, you don't
yeah.
put it on.
Just keeping it. Don't forget, once you put it in with the oil on it, it will congeal, just kind of going solid almost. You just paint the sides, and you can put a wee bit more on if you want it more spicier. The good thing about this is too, you don't need to grease your pan. It's already got a nice bit of oil on as well. Got a nice colour. I've just messed up my nice chopping board. Around. If anybody's got any questions other than Sam, just keep asking. If I don't know it, I'll get somebody to Google it. Keep hitting that on.
Do you use different fish?
Yeah, my favourite fish to cook is halibut. I love cooking halibut. When we had the restaurant, it was more a seafood kind of grill. And in the cellar, we had this, when I bought it, I found this big fish tank in the cellar. How they got it into the cellar, I'll never know, because the cellar door was wee small, and then this fish tank was from about here to the end of that table, and about that height, massive. So I googled how to look after lobsters, and I got 2 filters either side, and got the lobsters, put the lobsters in, and they died. Kept dying. I couldn't figure out what was doing wrong, because if they die, they contaminate the whole tank, so you have to empty the whole thing, put the water back in, get the filters going, and then you have to put, it's not like normal salt, you have to put special salt in to give it the gravity, right? So it had to be a certain gravity. So then I put the lobster back in, they kept dying. But what was wrong was, I mean, they were jumping about lively as anything, but they should have been just sitting there doing nothing, but the water was too hot. So what I done was I run a tube from one of the filters through the beer chiller and back into the tank, and then put the lobsters in. The lobsters were like, oh, happy days. Beautiful. And then I made another mistake. I thought, right, let's get langoustines. And I don't know if you've ever seen langoustines, and they've got like these wee kind of pigeonholes that they sit in. Well, you're supposed to, right? You have all these people. So I got that, put it in, put all the langoustines in there. Came down and no langoustines. The two lobsters go, good night, another thing, mate. I should have separated the tank a bit. Another tip too, if somebody takes you out for a nice meal and you get a lobster, and because what we used to do is present the lobster to the customer. You know the big kind of antennae things, right? See if they're gone. Don't buy the lobster, because what they do is you can't feed them in the tank because it contaminates the tank. So we used to get them in fresh and keep them in the tank, and then maybe sell them within a week. But what they do is they start eating each other, and the first things they eat is the things. So if you ever get to Spain or somewhere like that on your holidays and you go and get a lobster, just say you want the one with the long things. So that's that. So now I'm going to attempt to cook the salmon. So I'll turn on these things are great, these induction hobs. I don't know if you've got them in your house. I've got gas out this way. I don't mean you're in the back and beyond. What I mean is some places don't have, like Wigton, they don't have gas.
We don't have gas.
We've got Carla gas.
Carla?
You get that LPG.
Alright. You said that as if it's like, I've got a Manny jeans.
No, but we've now got an induction hob in there, and we used to have a gas cooker. But
Right.
we've now got an induction, and you've got an induction in here as well.
Yeah, induction's great. It's the way to go. Wee bit more expensive to buy in, but it's so much cleaner and a lot easier to operate. Right, that's us now. Okay, so I'm going to heat my pan up. Oh, I don't want it too hot, because obviously I don't want to burn the salmon. So I'm going to put my presentation side in first. And I've got my dough for my salad. So that's heating up nicely. You watch what I keep forgetting about these. That's it, so I'll just test it. And then I'll put presentation side down first. So that's it, you can hear that cooking away. Fantastic. What we used to do as well is we used to have a char grill in the restaurant. Nightmare to clean, but when we had a char grill, we used to char grill our salmon. Nowadays, in these trendy restaurants, they've got wee tiny barbecues. I don't know if you've seen them. Yeah, anybody watch MasterChef and things like that on TV? You see them, and they've got this little thing about that size. And they've got charcoal in it, and they light it up, and they do a barbecue. And some of them even serve up on the table. So we've got that, and then what we'll do is just let that cook away, turn it down a wee bit. I'll just let that cook while I'm making up the salad. So, this salad, I learnt this when I went to a vegetarian course. Any vegetarians in here? No, no vegetarian. Good. Right, so, you're not vegetarian, are you?
No, not a chance.
So, what they showed me was this fantastic salad, and they also showed me radishes. But I'll show you what I'm going to do with them. These are pretty boring. So these are, people just slice them up, fire them through a salad. So it's a bit okay. But I'll show you what I normally do with them. So here I've got some lovely goose. So this is the pearl stuff, and you can get the giant pearl. What did I say?
Goose.
It's my accent. You can. Right. So we. No, that's what that is. So what I do is I go to. There's a fantastic shop in Castle Douglas, Sunrise. It's like a sweetie shop for spices. But I disagree with all their spices behind because God knows how long we've been sitting there, do you know what I mean? But don't tell them I said that. But anyway, you go in there and you get all these fantastic things. You used to get a thing called, I haven't seen it in there for a while, called eboli. You ever hear of that?
No.
Oh, I used to be able to get it in there, and I would do it in my demonstrations. And it's called eboli, and it's fantastic because what you would do, same as you do with the couscous, you whatever amount of couscous or eboli you put into the pot, you do 3 amounts of stock, right? Put it in, boil it down till it's dry. Yeah, quick rinse off, and then use that for your salad. But this stuff, eboli, it looks like sugar puffs when it's cooked. That's what it's like, and it's fantastic. And it's supposed to be really good for you, healthy, and all this kind of stuff. But if you, so what I done was I got it off Amazon. Believe it or not, got it off Amazon once. Anyway, so that's that. So I've got my chickpeas. So I'm going to add my chickpeas in. Then sometimes I use toasted pine nuts, but I had some of these beautiful pistachio nuts in the cupboard, so I just use them, and they give it a nice colour as well. So add them in. So if anybody's got a nut allergy, you can't have this, okay? I've got that. And then I'm going to just check my salmon. So whenever you're cooking the salmon, you'll see it cooking as it goes up the side of it. You'll see it getting whiter and whiter all the way up. So it's a nice, beautiful colour. So it's kind of nice blackened salmon. And then what I'll do is just turn that right down. That, then just let that cook away. Normally what I would do is seal off the sides and then put it into an oven called a rational, which is, it kind of steams and roasts at the same time. And what you can do is you can put beef, fish, whatever you want, it doesn't cross-contaminate. Yeah. So, and it holds it, alright, won't overcook it. It'll just cook it till it's nice, kind of pinky in the middle, and hold it that way. It's a fantastic piece of kit. And it even recognises if, say, one corner of the oven's not too hot, and then it heats that corner up to get to the same temperature. Fantastic. But anyway, that's what we used to do, and then just put that into the oven, and then just let it cook that way. So, but what I'm trying to do is tend to do it the whole way on the pan.
Did you cook that in oil? Is that in oil or just on its own?
Don't forget we made up the wee paste.
Oh, right.
And there was
So there's nothing else on
No,
the
no.
pan.
No, that's it. And the other crucial thing is, and what I've got here is non-stick pans, which I use especially in the, when you've got kids, school kids, trainees, students, they just burn everything. So then I've got pomegranate, put that in. Then I've got some nice diced, really finely diced onions, put that in. These recipes too, what I'll do is I'll send them to Haley, and then if anybody wants them, okay, you can get them there. Then I've got some sun-dried tomatoes, which are beautiful. And then I had to borrow some peas from one of my assistants here. Couldn't get peas or any Tesco's. Absolutely empty because of the gas. Anyway, so I've got peas in there. No gas. So I've got that, and then what I'm going to do is a wee bit of chiffonade of some spinach. And then I've got some more basil. So we'll just put that aside here. And now I've got the spinach, basil, spinach is here. You can see sitting there and she just went. And then we'll just do that. Okay, so you try and keep it tidy as you can. That. And then we're just going to chop that. And I hate chopping with gloves. So you see when I'm chopping, which I'll show you in a minute, is keep the tip of the knife on the board and then just letting the knife do all the work, like that. If you're a chef in the kitchen and you've normally got loads of mise en place to do, loads of prep to do, so you don't want a sore wrist. So you try and get, trying to show people the techniques, especially students for the first time, and then just to persevere. And so I'm keeping my fingernails right in, so I keep my fingers tucked in. So it's called the claw. Okay, do that. If anybody's interested, that's what that's called. Then I put some spinach in there. That. Just cook it nicely. And then we're just going to mix that up with the spoon. The lemon juice. A wee bit of lemon juice. Yeah. And then some of that fantastic oil. Mix it in. That. And just mix that together. So you see, that's quite fresh, colourful. Looks fantastic. I usually make a bowl of that, and it does this for a week. Just bring it out. Yeah. At the end of the week, my wife's sick of eating salad. So got that. So then what I'll do is I'll do a wee plate. And I'll take this salmon off, put it into here. Let it rest a wee bit. And then what I'll do is a wee bit more oil. Turn the temperature up a bit. And then I'm just going to sweat off the radishes. So I've got some of that spice. Let me put a wee bit more of it in. Got my radishes. You've got all the juice and all the flavour of the salmon. Put a wee bit more of the paste in. Put a wee bit more of that in. And then roast these up. Sometimes what I do is I roast them off cold in the oven. Yeah, you done that before? Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, they're fantastic. That. So you just have that, these, and that's you've got like a nice veg. If you've got somebody coming around that's a vegetarian, just give them that. Tell them not to come back. And we'll just do this up. In. Just pat it down. You got all kind of restaurant tape. Right. Try to clear it. Right. Yep. More. And then we'll just get one of the nicest bits of salmon. And then what we used to have is, we always used to have a clarified butter sitting in the kitchen. Ebbing it one out, got a wee bit of a glaze just to brighten it up a bit. That. And that's more or less that. I did have some dehydrated lobster scallop close, but I'll find it. And we've got this around the sides. Oh. Just round the edge. Like that. And that's more or less it. Put that in the back. Okay, so what I'm going to do is have a quick wipe down, and then my two assistants are going to come up right now and get their aprons on.
Are we allowed to taste one of them radishes?
Yeah, I'm just going to
You don't ask.
Is that, were you thinking out loud or did you mean to say that?
Because they're rubbish.
I will do is just cook them a wee bit more, just to make sure. I was going to get a bowl and put some salad into it from the kitchen. Yeah, I'll put some salad and some of the radishes. Okay guys, so there's stuff here so you can sanitize. That apron's too long, just let me know.
Comedian over here. Can't read this. Sam, you'll help me, won't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until they get a bowl now.
Just want to get one.
Yeah.
Right, so we've got a nice bowl here. Just going to put some of the
You would notice that one.
I don't consent to photos, Rose.
I just found my dehydrated roe.
Yes.
And I've got some little garnishes. Like you say, did you go? Woo? And we've got that, some garnish off of that.
Is that spring onions?
No, that's one guess. You got two more.
Celery.
Oh, celery.
Yeah, who said that? All right, okay.
Look like antlers.
So you got that. So again, that salad you could charge a lot more just by putting a bit of celery on it. Okay, and then I'll just spin these on and then we'll get wiped down and get started. Well, I'll need a wipe down. So put that around the edge. What I'll do as well is chickpeas. Mix some of that Cajun spice for in some chickpeas and just roast them in the oven. And then you just get them with, like, you know, somebody's coming around, you're having a pre-dinner drinks. Instead of opening a bag of Golden Wonder, you can just hit them with that. Okay, so my able assistant will go around here with that and the spoons.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, so do you know my two assistants here? Does everybody know them?
No.
Yeah. Talking about the village. Yeah. Coming out of the local shop with their brown paper bag. I've heard all about you. Okay, you've done home economics, yeah? And you work here?
Yes.
Yeah, so we haven't got complete novices here, okay? So we should be alright.
Nice to meet you, I'm James. We don't know each other.
You don't know each other?
Well, we do work together, actually.
Alright. So turn that off. So I'm going to use that pan again. So let's see if I got all my stuff. Just turn it up, turn it up. The radishes taste alright. I've never tasted them, so I don't know if they needed something or something taken away, or they just taste absolute rubbish.
You don't taste like radish.
Taste the radish?
I don't like
No, you don't taste the radish.
No, they don't taste like
No,
radish.
that's what I mean. It's just totally changes them completely.
What's the salad?
And can you cook them for longer? Do they just gradually get softer and softer?
Just gradually get. They go like a roast potato, like a skin around the outside and soft in the middle. But it was fantastic.
I like that.
Yeah. 400 quid it cost me for that course, and the only thing I got out of it was the roasted radishes. No, it's a good course. I'm gonna check. It was in the Edinburgh Cook School, in the Newtown Edinburgh Cook School. The girl that owns it used to be a chef at Leith. You know the Leith Cook School down south? No. Anyway, her husband apparently owns all the property in Edinburgh, and he bought her this building, and she made it into a cook school. But she was really good. The girl that was teaching us was a vegan for 30 years or something.
Can you say something about the Michelin stars?
One you need day and night. But the thing about a Michelin star is, when we had our restaurant, we had 2 rosettes, but we never really chased the rosettes, because what happened was, I mean, so many of my chefy friends have got, like, some of them got Michelin star, but there was that much pressure to keep the Michelin star each year. And they were just their egos and things like that. I mean, if you've got a big ego, it's the most expensive thing you've ever had in your life, especially if you're a chef.
You have to fly them. You say that and put yourself up.
No, they come visit you.
Just go around.
Yeah.
They're like secret eaters.
Yeah.
I could do that.
We used to. We had a corridor leading from the kitchen all the way down. The dining room was underneath. In the corridor, we had pictures of all the critics. So the staff could recognise who they were. So this one guy who came in, well, once you get one, they all seem to follow suit. Anyway, this one guy came in, and they sat down, but he was just on his phone like that constantly. So we looked at him, I thought, I don't recognise this guy. But anyway, everybody else in the dining room got forgotten about it. This guy got the best service you ever seen in your life. But he was from Eat Scotland. But he also worked for Michelin, and he'd been in for it. We'd changed the menu too. We had I'll never forget it, we had a salmon tart on the menu, and on the main course we had a chicken dish. Or no, we had a lamb dish. But anyway, this tart was the first time we'd done it, and I wasn't that happy with it, and that's what he ordered. And then he ordered the new dish that was on the menu for his main course. So I don't know whether you've ever been in that situation, but when the guy comes in, say on a Saturday night, and you know the paper's it's going to be in the paper the following week, you just absolutely, you know, your nerves, it's unbelievable. And I used to get my wife to read the paper because I couldn't read it, and she would read it, and I could tell by her face whether it was going to be good or not. But anyway, no, it was good, and we actually got a silver award for that guy that was in there, and it was the most stressful week I've ever had in my life. Anyway, but if you ever open a restaurant, just don't chase any stars or anything like that, and don't tell the papers that you've got a restaurant. But that's all on that. What do you call that? Travel, which is a nightmare. Just eat. Okay, so what we're going to do is here we've got guys. So sorry, what's your name again? Eileen.
James.
So this is James and Eileen, and they're going to be cooking along with me. Okay, so what we're going to do is a wee quick kind of Thai dish. We've got basil leaves, we've got turmeric, we've got nice fresh ginger, we've got sugar, garlic, we've got fresh red Thai paste that I made about just before the pandemic started. Was it 2019? Yeah. Yeah, I'm only joking. I made it about a month ago. So I've got that, got lime, and then we've got our lovely lemongrass. Thank you. So we've got that. So the first thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to reconstitute our noodles. Okay, so what I normally do is do it this way. A lot of people, what they do is they get a pot on, they put stock in it, they boil it up, they put their noodles in, they take them off, they put them into their sauce, they recook them again, and you end up with a big mess. Okay, so what I normally do is use boiling hot stock and then just pour it in. But for this, we're just using hot water. But if you get stock, like a fish stock, put it in, and then just let them naturally come apart and reconstitute. And then when you put them in there, they cook and soak up all the sauce. Yeah, rather than overcooking. Got that, James? We'll turn this on. So you just do what I do.
Right.
Team James.
Just watch. It's red hot, okay? So you just fill it until it almost comes to the top like that, okay? And then you just set that to one side, and then hopefully that will be in.
The silence doesn't help. Can you just sing with somebody?
Yeah. So normally I get abuse. Quite good not to have students, because students you usually go off your phone. Right?
Have I did that right? Yes, I have. Have I? Yes, I do.
So set it there. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to get our lemongrass. Okay, so I don't know if you've ever cooked lemongrass before.
I thought that was a spring onion.
So lemongrass, what you want to do is take the outside skin off. Okay, so we just trim the top, trim the bottom. By the way, watch your fingers, guys. Yeah, don't cut yourself, because what I've got in here, I've got a plaster. Just in case, it's only been used once. So it should be alright. Yep, cut the ends off. Yeah. And that's it. And then what you're going to do is take a layer off the top, off the outside, I mean. And just take a layer off. Yep. Got it? Here's quite thin. Have you done the fat one? Like that. Perfect.
I did something right. All downhill from here.
Your little plastic bowls, guys, that's your bin, okay? So you put all your rubbish in there, keep it nice and neat and tidy. And then
You really aren't helping. So. Do you want to move right to the back?
So then we trim up the other one. That. Yeah, and then take the outside out off. Like so. Okay, everything. That. So we'll just wait for Ryan to catch up.
Stupid question, but do these? Where do
Just
these
one
grow?
there.
Where do these grow? Are these from like what? Are these a country thing? Are these from Scotland, England, Ireland, Wales? I must be in the UK.
Google it.
I don't have that. I do.
They grow on the ground.
There's no service in here.
Okay, ready? So you'll see you've got a rolling pin. I've got a Porsche hammer. So what you're going to do is break down the fibres. If you don't do this and you just chop it, then you get bits of lemongrass in your mouth. So you need to really give it a good bash, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so this is it. Yeah, so if you just do one at a time.
See what you've got me in for?
Like, you know, Right, that's enough.
We don't need that.
Don't need that. So then chop towards the root side. Okay, so we're just going to go halfway down. And then chop it quite fine.
You're too young for the generation, Glenn.
What?
I see the one to do with when they're piping with piping bags. Oh, hilarious.
Amy's Anthea tonight. Anthea Turner.
Alright, so halfway down, guys. You don't want to go near the root bit, okay?
Right.
Yeah. And then what you could do as well is if you're making some chicken noodle soup or something like that, put that in, get a wee bit of stock off it. Beautiful. Yeah, you can speed up a wee bit if you want. And don't forget. Okay, stand back, stand back. So if
It's quite hard to cut.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes if you turn it up the other way, so you haven't got the flesh side that you're trying to chop through, and you turn it to the inside, if you understand what I mean. So what you're doing is keeping the tip on the board, sliding the knife like that. Yeah, and then it'll cut through it far better. Keep the tips of your fingers in, because you're giving me heart attacks. You're standing like that. Okay. Any years since you were at home economics? So you can see how easy it is. 3. There you go. Right, keep going with that. And then what you're going to do is put a wee space on your board, on your tray, and then just put that on like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Is that a lemony flavour then?
Yeah, I can let you.
Only halfway down to say.
Very strong.
It's not far.
Okay, so we've got that. Right. Perfect. That should be enough. James. Yep. Bin. So that's got that. So what you do is clear a wee space on your tray, and then just put it on your tray. Yeah. And you can see your noodles are starting to. Okay, so the. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, just that's enough. Just put it on your tray. Beautiful. Yep, we just got our noodles. So you can see the noodles are just coming nicely.
Smells quite nice up there.
Yeah, it smells beautiful. So next thing we're going to do, you guys, is our ginger. So you can use a wee knife for that. Some people what they do is use a spoon. No way, sometimes you get them all funny shapes and you just use a... Did you like that?
What? So she stole one of my things.
She stole your...
Yeah, it's one you gave me.
Alright.
Oh, right.
Okay. Right, okay, so you're going to peel that. And then what we're going to do is chop some of it up. The reason why there's quite a lot there because it's quite spicy, but I'll give you a larger bit so it's easier to cut, easier to chop. You just peel it. You can use a small knife. That. You got the smaller knife? Yeah. We're peeling it. No. Should have used a small knife as well.
I wish you weren't sitting there.
Okay, you're just quietly getting on with it. Yes.
I know, yeah, Sam, go sit over there.
You told me you were going to be the troublesome one. Didn't tell me anything about it. Okay, so let me know if I'm going too fast for you.
Why is there really? Look over here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really filling me with confidence, right?
No, stop.
Not paid many taxis, have they?
No.
So what you do is put your thumb to the bottom and then pull the knife towards your thumb like that and then ease off once you get near your thumb. Yeah?
The right.
Yeah, that's it. So it's a lot less scarier for me if you do it that way. We got that. So, and you've got yours. Good. And then we're going to slice it. So you take a bit off the bottom so that it stabilises it and then turn it round. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that. And yeah. You got all the skin off that? No.
Just a bit, so adds texture.
So you trimmed it, you've got it there, you've got it stabilised, right? And then you're going to do some slices of it. Okay, so remember, we're not going to put all this in, okay? And then you're going to cut some julienne. Do you remember what that is?
Straight line.
Straight lines, yeah, that'll do for me. Matchsticks. Yeah. And then we just julienne it. And then what we're going to do is dice it after that. Again, what you can do is you can grate it. Do you want me to use your microplane? Whatever. But I tend to do this. And ginger and turmeric are fantastic for your stomach. Yeah, really good. I know that because I've been drinking the tea. Just to settle my stomach a wee bit. So I've got my ginger ready, like so. Take that, put it in here. Yeah. What else would you been doing tonight other than watch these two? Yep, great. Cook for yourself much, James?
Yeah, no one's at home, yeah.
That's why he's so skinny.
Oh yeah, I just don't eat full stop.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so put that and then put in the other stuff. Alright, that's great. We've got that. So the next tricky one, and it's the last bit of chopping. So what you're going to do is bring your board to the edge. Have you got, yeah?
that
Yeah.
option?
Yeah. And then just put that there. And then get rid of that. Right, so we're going to wipe down your board a wee bit. You should have a cloth at the side of you. That's it. And then just in the bin. And then we've got our garlic, so you just peel the garlic. Yeah. And pull your board to the edge, yeah. Both the boards right to the edge, yeah. Good. And then we just peel that into your bowl. Make sure you get it all off. So I quite like garlic, so I'm going to put 2 in mine. I don't know what size of garlic I give you guys, so you can use it all or just one big bit. And then we're just going to put that the last time we done it here, 2019 was it, Sam? We had tables set up and we had everybody with their own little cookers, and it was just mayhem. We're making curry, weren't we? Just curry everywhere. It was mayhem, but funny mayhem. You ready? Okay. What? All right. You ready?
Yep.
What's that? What did you say?
Yep.
All right. Yep. Okay, so you're gonna pull one. If you just watch me first, right, before you do it, like that. Blade, sharp bit to that side. Okay, so the blunt side towards your hand if you're right-handed. Yeah. Yeah. Knife on there, so that the handle is actually hanging off the edge of the board. Then a sharp bang. Then slightly chop it. Then as if you're pushing it through the board, okay? So you're trying to make it nice and transparent. Like that, okay? And then you scrape it up, and then that's you got your garlic, okay? So some chefs, what they do is they use salt to make it grippy, but I don't do that because it seasons up when you're trying to bake and things like that. But it just works the same. Okay.
Close your eyes.
So yeah, remember I've been doing this since I was like, well, I haven't grown much, so.
Go James, go.
Right, go James. Now, just think of somebody you don't like, okay? And then just hit it.
Just think, did you do both or just one?
Just one.
What to do, guys? Make sure you don't have another knife sitting on your board. Because that's almost like.
Did you do both or just one?
Yeah, do both if you want more.
Go on.
No.
It works.
He looked at you when he did that.
Yeah, so we do that, chop it. And this is a lot. You know, some people use the garlic crusher thing, and then you spend about a fortnight cleaning it out.
Yeah, cleaning it out.
Right, so it's quite once you learn how to do it, you can get quite quick at it. So don't forget, you're putting pressure on the one hand
Do the other at the same
and then
time.
pushing it through the board.
Don't stress me. I'm good. Yeah, and then,
Keep going, it's getting near my bed. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we come around this side, I'll show you. Yeah. So it takes me back getting used to it, right? It's kind of pushing with one hand and moving with the other.
Right.
So what you want to do is push. Some people spread their fingers. You just
I
put
did
the
nothing.
pressure with this hand on, and then you're just pushing and towards you. Some people what they do is they go like that. You get more purchase on the guy. You just so it's an extreme way of operating your blade.
Right.
And just put the pressure on. Okay. Try that. Oh, you getting on?
Yeah. And after I did that, there's like that.
Right, watch. Okay, so you stand aside, bring it all together. So, what you're doing, a bit of pressure, and then like that. So you're trying to push it through the board. Okay, so you see the kind of rocking motion I'm using? Okay. Okay, so you put that on your board, on your tray even, and then what I'll do is I'll get the bigger prawns.
I'm very quick to judge you.
We're mummies.
Why isn't your son doing this?
That's a bit of peace, James.
That's what I was wanting tonight, but it's... Haley Edgar put a stop to that.
Okay, so we've got our nice tiger prawns here. Dublin Bay prawns, whatever you want to call it. I'll let you open that up. I'll let you open this one up. There you go. So, I absolutely love fish. Yes. You haven't smelled this stuff yet, James.
Oh.
Do you know what that is? Yeah. If you go, there's a shop, a Chinese warehouse in Glasgow, and I always go there. And the reason why I like it is two of my favourite shops are right beside each other. So you've got the fishing tackle superstore, and then right beside it you've got the Chinese superstore. And you go in there, they've got like sea bass swimming about in tanks. And have you been there?
No, I think you show us the one in Leeds.
Yeah.
They've
Aye.
got chicken feet and things like
Yeah.
that, and duck's bills and
Aye,
duck's
all that.
tongues and...
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Where is it?
It's now you're talking. You go by. It's near Ibrox. That's why. Not that I
Is
go
it
to
little
Ibrox,
like
but I
that?
just it's around that area. But it's a fantastic shop. But anyway, they have like solid like yeast blocks of this. It's called shrimp paste, and it smells horrendous. But it's
Does it change though once you've cooked it?
not what you're thinking about. Yeah, it does. But whenever we had the lobsters, we used to take the roe out. So if you take the roe out, it's green, right? Really green, slimy, and then you mixed it with butter. So it made like a kind of lobster green butter. And then we used to keep it, and then if we were making a sauce for the likes of this, then you would put it in, and it turns pink, and it gives it a lovely, lovely colour and beautiful, beautiful flavour. So if you go into a restaurant and you're getting a lobster, check its antennae down, open it up, take out the lobster, the roe, take it home and make yourself some butter. It's doggy bag. So we've got our prawns. So you can see that the prawns have already took out the intestines down the back. Okay, so make sure if you ever get prawns, shell them. There's like a little strip that comes out. I've already done it for you, so that's all right. We've got that. We've got our lime, and then we're just gonna. We've got that. So you're gonna turn your pans on, which is gonna be fun. Right, so I'll show you how to turn your pan on. Okay, so you've got this. I'm getting ready to run up and down here. So we've got that. You're going to turn this on, so we'll put that down, right? And then this should light. There you go. So the crucial thing is controlling the temperature, okay? So that's one of the first things that a student chef learns is how to control the temperature.
No pressure.
So you turn it down a wee bit. So you want it up high and then turn it down, okay? So keep an eye on that. Yeah. And then see if you this down. Just remember the temperature. Yeah, we'll put that. So we're letting it come up to temperature, guys, okay? And we're going to put a wee tiny bit of oil in. Wee bit of oil. We can use this oil or you can use sesame seed oil or groundnut oil. I use it, I'll just stuff. Yep. Right. Okay. That. So we've got our oil. I've got mine with my tasty salmon in there as well. We're just letting that come up to temperature. I'll turn mine on. Okay, so if you're doing chicken or if you're doing prawns, what some people do is they cook off the prawns or the chicken first, take it out, and then cook off the rest of the ingredients and then add it back in. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep our prawns in there, okay? Just to kind of speed things up a bit. Well, if you were at home doing this, you would just take it out. Sometimes you put the spices in there as well. Cook it off with the spices. Yep. My spoon has gone missing. Okay, so pop in your prawns. Just put one in as a wee taster first, and then you hear it sizzling, and then just add it in. Yeah, that's it. Just put them in. Yeah. Very nice. Well done, James. Yeah. Cool. Just let it cook away on one side. Yeah. Just give it a wee shake. Okay, so when you're shaking pans like that, go like that. Okay, you need to stand one side.
Oh,
Yeah, easily Harriet job. Yeah. Don't use two hands because it just looks really now. Yeah. We'll give them a wee toss. Toss it. Come on. You've got two stuck.
There's two stuff.
Right, so like that. Yeah. Right, watch. Set it down. So you slide them to one side like that, and then you're flipping them over. Okay? Yeah.
Right over there. Show the catch. Oh,
Yep. Okay, so we'll put in our garlic, ginger, and a bit of our lemongrass. Fire that in. Yeah, like so. And then you give it a wee toss. I'm going to click after you.
A bit of lemongrass here, all of it. Well, listen.
Yeah. I'll do a class with 16-year-olds, 15 of them with woks, and I get them to do that. Food everywhere. Do that, and maybe a wee bit more oil, just to gas it up. Okay, so we're going to slightly overcook these, but we'll not worry about it, it's only for us. You turn your temperature up a wee bit, slightly, James?
Is it up?
Yeah.
What do we put? Is it again? No.
Just the
Lemongrass.
lemongrass, garlic, ginger. Get all that in.
I think mine went out.
Yours went out. Okay, that's you back in action. Okay, go for that. Okay, so I'm just sweating mine off. I'm going to turn it down a bit, a lot. Okay, so you can put in your sugar. Get that in. Caramelizes nicely. Put it in. You got your sugar in. Okay, the next one is, guys, we're going to put lime in it. Okay, so you just go put your lime in.
Not listening to you anymore.
Yeah, cool. Keep it going.
Just one glass of wine. Just one.
Yeah, two. Two. We got it all in. Yep. Then what we're going to do is put in here we've got some coconut milk mixed with some double cream. I put double cream in it just to help. Once it reduces, it makes a nice sauce. Okay. Some people would do is put corn flour in, but I just put a bit of double cream because whenever you reduce it, it thickens up, makes a nice sauce. So we'll put in half of it just now, just to see. Then it should melt. Mix it in, and then just stir in the rest. So. And then just mix that in. Yep. You want it nice and high, okay? Mix it all in with your spoon. Yeah, mix it in. Then we're going to put in our turmeric. Okay, which is going to give it a nice colour. Tidy up my bench a wee bit. Mix that in. Then we've got teaspoons. So what we're going to do is put a small amount of the part in. And then you've got your red Thai paste. I like mine quite spicy, so I'm going to put all mine in. Okay, so normally you would just use about that much if you were buying it in the shops, but I know how strong that is, so I'll put it all in because I made it myself. But normally the stuff in that you get even in the Chinese shops really is like red hot. Okay, yeah, cool, beautiful. Yeah, so if you like it hot, Yeah, I do. You like it hot? Good, put it in there. So you can smell that, smell the turmeric. Fantastic. Got all that in. Then we've got this lovely stuff here. Smell that. Mmm.
Oh, it does smell nice. But no, it doesn't. Sorry, I think I was smelling the
That
top.
was unexpected.
What is it?
Yeah? Fish sauce.
Oh, right, lovely.
That's what I was expecting. Not, that smells nice.
I didn't get a proper whiff.
Right, so we want a wee splash of that, just to give it a bit of flavour. What I do as well is sometimes you use stock. What if I've got a lot of fish bones and things like that, boil them up, strain them, put them into ice cube trays and freeze them. And then if I need a bit of stock, I just lift up, cut the ice cube, fire it in, got fresh stock. Okay, so normally you'd have your prawns ready here, okay, and then put them in around about now. These are going to be slightly rubbery, but they should be alright. Yeah, so then we're going to put, you don't have to put all your noodles in, okay? You can just put some in, and then just put them in. So this is all beautiful colour. I'm actually going to put all mine in. Egg noodles, yeah. And then just mix that in. And then you just let that reduce. Yeah, let it reduce. And then that will soak up the sauce and it'll just thicken up nicely. And then what we're going to do is your basil, you don't have to put all the basil in. And then just chiffonade, they call this. Okay, so you shred your basil, and then just before you put it in your wee, I'll give you a little carry dishes, okay? So you can either eat it here, take it home, or you can sell it on the way down the road.
Who wants to try mine? Sam should be first.
And then that is basically that. So then you would taste it as well, James, just to make sure it's, in case you need a wee bit more seasoning or a wee bit more stock. We got away with not using that, eh?
We're not over yet.
And then we'll put that in there. So you can see that looks beautiful. Yeah? Yes.
Get a bit more basil in there.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Eh? You got basil there?
I put some in, but Sam wants more, even though it's not hers. Sam, do you want to come and chop something while I put it in? Right, sit there and be quiet.
Well, okay, well done, guys. So a round of applause for the. You should have had ready, steady cooking things, didn't you? Little cards. Who do you think was the best? Him or her? You just
I heard that, Laura.
Okay, that's it. So you can put it in your dishes, guys, and you can. I don't know if you've tasted the salad and stuff yet.
I want Sam to try mine. I've decided for you.
And that is it. So thank you very much.
Spicy or?
No.
No.
Okay, what's that?
No, really.
I'll toss
Say-
it for on.
The same as making your spices or your own paste. You can make it as hot as you want. You know what I mean? As long as you know what it's like when you're cooking with it.
So what would be in that paste?
In the paste, there's lemongrass, chilies, onions, garlic, red pepper, so anything red.
Yeah.
Bit of oil, just to preserve it. And the thing about it is, you make it up, it keeps in the fridge for ages, like months. You just keep it in the fridge. Just scoop the blue mold off. Maybe.
I thought you wanted to put it in the dish.
Yeah, put it in the dish. Well, you make one a wee bit thicker. Is that right? Consistency wise for you?
No, but make it a bit thick.
Make it a wee bit. So what you do is turn it to clicks.
Sam, check this consistency. You're eating it. How is it? Which one? That do? That do? Yes.
That's it. So you can taste mine if you want.
Oh no. It's the same ingredients.
Yes. Preparation might be a little different.
So we try and keep our benches tidy at all times. Mine's an absolute mess. You're quite.
No.
Yeah, turn that off. Turn that off.
So it's
Yeah. So what's happening is it's starting to curdle a wee bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you would do is put a wee bit more cream in it just to bring it back. You could turn that off. Yeah.
yes.
Right. So then you would put a wee bit more cream in it, and then hopefully that will rescue it. Okay. You see where it's starting to split?
Yeah. Don't worry, just for Sam.
Put a bit more in it. And then just gently mix that in, and then that'll bring it back, and then get it into the container quickly. So that's kind of consistency. I like mine. That's beautiful.
Oh, well done.
Perfect. Well done.
Eileen won.
Okay,
You're not
Eileen.
speaking to me now.
Monday's going to be very awkward.
You won considering you're in the CatStrand kitchen.
Who else is in that kitchen, Hayley?
The coffees.
I'm sous chef, actually.
Okay, so that's it, guys. So thank you very much, and same place, same time next year.
Yay!